Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar and welcome to Phantasy Star Nova. This is a first look at the in-development English patch, made possible by the Henkaku patch. Now, I won't be going through how to install that particular mod. A Google search will give you what you need. Just keep in mind, Henkaku will only work on firmware version 3.6. If you're past that, your Vita is locked out completely. Now, while this patch has a couple of story scenes translated, for the most part, this story is untranslated. Hence why tonight we're just doing a quick look. I want to get up to a certain point in the game, and once we get there, this will be the last you see of the game until the story has been translated. Now, if you want to help out with this, head over to Ark's Lair and use the Discord link to reach out to the translation team. The translation team could really use some help in getting this done. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this going here. And just for reference, I am using the patch released on January 16th of 2017. 2017. Let's get this going. And actually, we'll go ahead and just go through the. We'll start up a new game here, just so I can kind of show you what the start of this looks like. Let's see. So as you can see, that scene is untranslated at this point, so we're just going to skip past that. And here we are at the character creation here in Phantasy Star Nova. So, let's go ahead and create our character. And you know me, I'm going to go for a male cast. And I'll go for a hunter here. The first base build there seems okay. I just want to change around some of the colors here. So we'll go under Edit Costume. And let's go over here. Let's make this a nice blue. That looks good. I don't think that's the one I want. Let's see. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to make this very nice red. There we go. And now for this one, let's make this a bit more yellowish. Okay, and from here we can select a voice. I don't really see a way to actually turn off a voice here, so I'm just going to pick one. I think this should be okay. And let me go ahead and put in my name here. Oops, wrong button. It gets a little confusing when you're having to go back and forth between the English and the Japanese layouts for the buttons. So, you know, cancel and accept are flipped around. All right, that should be good. Let's register this name and start the game. And we'll go ahead and overwrite that. There we go. And once again, this is a story scene, so we'll skip past that. Now, those of you that saw the start of Episode 4 in Phantasy Star Online 2, this room should look fairly familiar to you. When Episode 4 was first announced, people were looking at capsules like this, and they said, was it going to be related to Phantasy Star Nova in some way? But no, it wasn't. That was just your character being in deep sleep for 2 years. Now this is one of the few scenes that is translated, so I'll go ahead and let this play out. Where am I?
それは今からご説明いたします。私はアークス特殊惑星探査隊オルター所属艦デルタバリアントのメディカルスタッフリーティアと申します。これより簡単な記憶確認を行います。あなたは現在アークス特殊惑星探査隊オルターの戦闘部隊に所属し、新たに発見された惑星マキアへ向かっています。記憶にありますか？
From the trailers and such, but you wouldn't know that.
当艦には1000人のクルーがいます。そのうちの 90% がコールドスリープ状態で探査する惑星付近まで運ばれます。あなたもその一人だったんですよ。特殊惑星探査隊は直接ワープ接続できない惑星を探査することが多いため、コールドスリープで人員を運び、現地に滞在して惑星探索を行います。
Now, it's funny, that's kind of in stark contrast to Phantasy Star Online 2 Episode 4, where, let's see. My understanding is eventually the Arcs are able to warp over there. I'm recalling what happened at the end of the Phantasy Star Online 2 anime. In that very last scene, we see an Arc ship arrive there, so so it's kind of curious how crossing dimensions might be a little bit different here than just going from one planet to another here. So it's just kind of funny that they mention it like this. So I guess just regular travel between the planets doesn't work like that.
まもなく惑星マキアの衛星軌道に到着し、戦闘部隊員を含む第一次探査隊が惑星地表へ降下します。あなたは第一次探査隊に選抜されました。記憶に問題がなければフィジカルチェックに進み、出撃準備後ブリーフィングに参加してください。ここまでの説明に不明な点はありましたか？
No, I understand.
素晴らしいお返事ありがとうございます。問題はなさそうですね。よかった。脳までちゃんと回答できているみたいですね。ここだけの話、たまに失敗もあるんですよ。それでも大体は大丈夫なんですけどね。驚きましたか？今のは感情のチェックです。あなたの感情は正常なようですね。メンタルチェック完了です。
Well, that's a good one.
それではトレーニングルームへ移動してください。そちらでフィジカルチェック、運動能力の検査を行います。頑張ってくださいね。
Thank you.
敬礼もちゃんと覚えていましたか？惑星探査隊オルターには独特の敬礼があって、新人さんには珍しいってよく言われ。では、いってらっしゃいませ。
Alrighty. Looks that way.
俺は戦闘部隊隊長のフィルディアだ。お前は俺の部下ってことになるんでよろしくな。早速だが、お前の健康状態と戦闘技術を確認させてもらう。寝起きで体も鈍ってるだろうから、難しいことをやれとは言わねえ。軽くいけ、軽くな。
Still, looks like you're ready to spar. Alrighty, so we're gonna go over movement basics. And some of the initial windows like this have been translated as well, so this is kind of nice to get you familiar with the game. Alright, so we need to head for where the arrows are. Yeah, that's the first quest. Alright, so we'll review attacking. I'm going to spawn some enemies in the simulator, defeat them. No, I am playing this on a Vita TV connected to an Elgato capture card. Okay. And it looks like we got some Krata here. Easily taken out. Actually, it was just one of them. Has your body adjusted by now? I'm going to spawn some attacking enemies. Avoid or block their attacks. Okay, so this is one that's not fully translated yet. They've got the title for it translated, but the actual text is still in progress here. So this is one example of where the team still needs some help. The story is really the big thing where they need help, and if anybody knows Japanese and is willing to assist the team, definitely reach out to the team. You can get there through ArcSlayer and then use the Discord link, and that will be able to load up Discord, and you'll be able to reach out to them then. Alright, so for this group, we just need to avoid them. And just for reference, we do actually have one of the translators in the team in the chat right now. I was not expecting this to happen, actually. Well, this ends the training. I'll spawn some more enemies. Feel free to defeat them any way you choose. Alrighty. Alright, so L1 will let you lock on. One of the main differences I found in the combat here is the fact that your guard is not like a shoulder button that you can assign, and instead it's on your weapon palette, and that's more of the design of the 3-button way of doing things that was added in Phantasy Star Online 2 last year. Hey there, buddy. Yes, so. Those things are going down so quick, just attacks really won't do much right now. You've got someone behind you. Agreed, although It wasn't even there in the initial version of Phantasy Star Universe.
それは同期生の場合だけです。
俺も堅苦しいのは好きじゃない。挨拶は「よ」でもいいぞ。
無理です。
お前の彼女は面白いな。
なんてこと言うんですか。同期、ただの同期、普通の同期ですから。
冗談だ。お前らと一緒なら楽しい探索になりそうだよ。さて、そろそろ交換の準備を。なんだ。
Alright, so this is another story scene. I'm going to go ahead and skip through this. Basic idea of what happens here. The ship is attacked from the planet, and it crash lands. So, let's skip past this. Like I said, I'll let the story play out in full once there is a full story translation available. This is just to kind of do a quick look at the patch itself. Yeah, so there's a story scene that's not translated yet. So that's pretty much the end of what we can expect in terms of story translations. So I'm just gonna keep skipping through them now. It's nice that some of the hints at the top, though, have been translated. Okay, so this is talking about switching weapons, and we are on our first mission here. And we have our sword and our partisan. Let me go ahead and switch over to partisan. Okay, we got J-Crata. Alright. Well, that's not good. Apparently our photon points aren't working. And we've got even more of them popping up here. Alright, well... it seems like we can at least do some damage here. So I want to try to group them all up here. This may take a little while, but I would still prefer to take out Darkers where we can. I'm also impressed with the wide range that the Partisan has here. Again, I don't think just attacks are going to do much here, since all I'm doing is just a bunch of ones here. But these guys should be running out of health pretty soon. There's the first kill. And I wanted to do that just to make sure that when the team does the translation, they don't forget about that what I just did there, because she definitely had a response there. Alright, so we are worn out. Yada yada yada. Deus Ex Machina. Say hello to Gran. And now we have our abilities back. Alright, let's switch back over to the sword. Okay, and we are headed over here to the next area. Yeah, and this marker here just means you're about to start a scene. And we got a G Predicata. Don't make me laugh. And down it goes. Now, to put it simply, basically there's no such thing as photons on this planet. Instead, it has a different kind of energy called Gran, and so now we're using Gran points and Gran arts instead of photon points and photon arts. That's pretty much all you really need to know to really get going here and understand what just happened. And that's an S rank. Okay, that's talking about the main menu. And now it's going through all the updates. This updated to version 1.05. Alright, and now we need to head on board the ship. Once again, skipping through that. Looks like this text hasn't been translated yet. Most of what's translated here is like the menu options, the items, the weapons. Even some of the quest names are translated. Okay, and there it's talking about the conversion from photon points to Gran points. And from here, we should be able to head out on a mission. Let's see. Hey, no problem. I wanted to give this equipment a test out to make sure everything worked. Okay, this is talking about how to actually start up a mission and bring party members into it. So let's go under Quest, searching for comrades. We'll do this on normal. From here, we now select our party members, and then we go under Start Quest. Okay, and this is talking about how to basically build up your combo meter as well as get a gram burst going. I doubt we're going to get a burst going during this stream. Yeah, like I said, these guys are going down in basically one Grand Art, so really not much point in doing just attacks here. We'll need to eventually, though. Alright, that's that group. Now we got some G-Dagons. That's not the one I wanted it to select. Alright, moving on. Okay, let's head into the next area. Now, in terms of when this game actually takes place, it takes place concurrently while Episode 1 and 2 of Phantasy Star Online 2 are happening. So, there really isn't any crossover in terms of that. This is basically just a group that goes out and explores planets, compared to the main Ark's fleet, whereby they're constantly having to deal with the Darkers and such. So it's actually kind of surprising that that we are seeing Darkers on this planet. Okay, that's more story. And here we got a Kukulonada. Or G-Kukulonada, rather. Easily taken out. Now, when it comes to this particular game, once the story translation is available, my plan is actually going to be to do it similar to how I do my other series with Phantasy Star Online, where I'm going to do that as more of an episodic thing rather than doing it live streamed. Okay, this is technically the second chapter that we're entering into, but I won't be going too much further in this. I think there's maybe another 3 or 4 missions that I want to get through, and then that will kind of be it. Alright, so let's head over to the bridge. Okay, let's head out of the bridge now. And now we're having a quick chat with Sharon. Although, once again, skip. Okay, and that should have just unlocked some more quests for us here. Okay, seeking Grand Crystal. Hey there, Ads. How you doing? I apologize if you're hearing that dog outside. There's nothing I can do about that. Okay, this is going into status elements. Nothing we really have to worry about here. Okay, and here is our first encounter with some of the natives of the planet. So we got some Rosades here. The other thing I will note about kind of how the game is playing here is the fact that you really don't have to pick up items. You just have to walk over them, and the game just picks them up for you. Well, now this is surprising. What are Udans doing on this planet? It looks like they're actually raw Udans. But Udans are native to Navarius, so it's curious how, I guess, a subspecies managed to get here. I've got my doubts that they're anything like Rappies, which can travel interdimensionally. Again, this Phantasy Star takes place between episode 1 and 2 of Phantasy Star Online 2. Rather, it happens concurrently while that is happening. These people are trapped on this planet because their ship was attacked and had to make a crash landing. and they're now using a new energy source. Instead of photons, they're using Gran. This is still very early on. As you can see, the story is still not translated. What I'm basically showing off here today is what progress has been made for the English patch. And as you'll see, it's got like the menus and everything else like that, but there's still a lot of things that need to be translated at this point. And we are looking to gather up these crystals here, it looks like. One other thing I will note is the NPCs in this game, compared to any other NPCs in a Phantasy Star game, these guys seem to be the most, what's the word I'm thinking of? They do what you actually need them to do, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. Compared to other Phantasy Stars, they are some of the smartest companions I've run across before. They're able to heal you when you need healing, and they don't just act like mindless robots. They do seem to have a bit of strategy behind them. Now I'm trying to gather up all these items because these items, a lot of them do go towards clearing up this version's game of client orders, which are called promise orders for this game. Looks like that's the last of them. Let's grab the last crystal. And we've reached level 7. Now, one other thing that's kind of nice here is rather than having to find a telepipe up, you can just say yes and return to base. If you still need to gather up some of the items, you can run around and collect them, and then say yes to that prompt there. Okay, need to speed up just a little bit there. Okay, so now they're going into promise orders. Here we go. So for this one, we need to collect darker nodes, although we've already got the darker nodes, so we can just simply turn it in. And then this one is also done. It looks like we leveled up with that as well. Okay, that one we can't turn in because that is tied to completing a mission. So we're going to do that next here. Alright, looks like Sharon over here also has a promise order. We'll go ahead and grab that one. And now let's go ahead and make our way out to where we can pick up a mission. Alright, so we need Steel Wastelands for one of them, so let's go ahead and get this started. Alright, and for this one, we just have to take out enemies. Now, one other thing I will note is Phantasy Star Nova was developed in partnership with Tri-Ace. Tri-Ace is better known for their work on the Star Ocean series. And it's pretty obvious that they brought the same composer on for some of the music here, particularly the battle music. It just has the same vibe as a lot of the Star Ocean games. Alright, so this guy is golden here, which means he's rare and we get a nice experience boost when we take it out. Alright, so that one's done. Let's pick up this item. Yeah, as you can see, they didn't even need my help for those Udans there. So they are much more competent than previous NPCs. Okay, let's grab the drops. One other thing that's kind of nice is the fact that they do put the drops on your minimap in the upper right corner. Just because it can be kind of hard to see where you're going sometimes. And that I'm constantly looking at that minimap. Anyway, we've got a Jod Banther here. And down it goes. Oh, that's right. He falls. Alright, let's head back to base. There we go, that's better on the speed. Alright, let's see if we can turn in that promise order first. Alright. And now let's head over to the bridge. Okay, let's turn that in. And up next, we need to clear Darker's subjugation. So let's get this going now. Basically, what we're doing right now, through completing these promise orders, is we're unlocking the various stations that are available. Looks like Lutina also needs something here. Alright, that's going to send us back to one that we've already completed, so I don't think we'll be completing that one here. Alright, let's get this going. Got some G-Crata here. One thing I will note is it does seem like the range on the sword is a bit shorter than in Phantasy Star Online 2. But at the same time, I think when you use the Sacrifice Bite, that does give you a little bit more range on that weapon as well. So that might be the difference I'm noticing here. And one other thing I will note here is I'm unable to play this with a keyboard and mouse here, so it's definitely a little bit different trying to play this with a controller. I used to play using an Xbox controller back in the day before I went keyboard and mouse. I actually went controller mouse, whereby my movements would be more analog and a little bit more free, but eventually I just simply switched over to a keyboard once I realized I actually needed to use my sub palette a bit more than I was. But now I'm just full controller here, and that's kind of limiting here. The more limiting factor here is the fact that all I can do is really rotate through these buttons. If I had a PlayStation 4 controller plugged in, I could also use the touchpad. So I may, once I do finally do this as a series, once the story is ready to go, then I might switch over to that and kind of show you those icons. Because it's basically just a virtual mouse that you're using at that point, that you can then click on things. Depending upon how the development of the story patch goes for this, if full chapters are completed before other chapters are, and they're in order, I may see if I can get through those chapters. Although I'm not really the best one to answer that specifically, because I don't know if if the saves are going to be compatible between versions of the patch or not. That's actually something I need to find out. Alam, if you're still in here, do you know if that works or not? Obviously I'm dealing with the YouTube delay here, so I'll give him a minute or two to respond to that. The other thing that could be going on here that I'm not aware of, potentially the story may be all randomized in terms of where the files are, and that it may be impossible to kind of go chapter by chapter for the story, and they may just have to kind of work at it as they go through the files. I'm not on that team. I don't really know the specifics of that. All I do know is they do need the help to really get things translated here. So if anybody does know Japanese and is willing to offer their time, I definitely try to reach out to them and see if they'll take you up on helping them. Because my understanding is right now there's only 2 people working on it. Alam, who was in the chat, as well as I think it's Cynthia. I'm not 100% certain on that one though, because they also work on the PSO2 ES patch. That's another one that I'll probably do a first look at eventually as well. But I'm hoping that they do at least have some of the story translated first before we do that. There's a point where things... It does seem okay initially, but there are still some broken lines that would need to be fixed first before I would ever actually consider starting something up with that. Anyway, that quest is done. Let's head back. Okay, let's hand in this promise order. And as you can see, the game also does have the capability to do multiplayer. But I think that's local multiplayer only. Unless you use the thing that PlayStation Network has... I can't remember what the application is, but the thing of that, though, is you would need to be on the latest version of the firmware, and in doing that you would lock yourself out of being able to use the English translation, so that would be kind of difficult to do. My understanding is the Henkaku does have some emulation of that, but I'm not going to chance it with my account to test that out. Let's see. So we do have some more promise orders over here. This one seems to be the same one, but it does seem also to be a good way to just kind of get some gran as well as a little bit of experience there. At this point, we have a few counters available to us here. Here we've got the class counter, and this is basically where we can either change our class or go through different elements here in terms of customization. So we could go Hunter, Ranger, or Force. There are other classes in the game. Let's see. We can also learn new Gran Arts, so you know me, I'll go ahead and grab Overend. And we can technically bring that up multiple levels here if we wanted to. But as they go up, as you go up in level, you need more materials there. Now the skill board is really where you can kind of customize your class, because not only do you have access to abilities from your own class, but you can also drop in abilities from other classes as well. And everything that is next to each other is connected, which has the potential to cause combos in what you put on the skill board. In a way, it's kind of like the pet candy box in a little bit of a way, I guess, in that it allows you to customize how things work. The English patch is available through Ark's Lair. You need to have a Vita on version 3.60 or lower If it's lower, you need to push it up to specifically 3.60. If you're beyond 3.60, you have locked yourself out of being able to use the Henkaku patch, which is necessary to get the English translation. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a stronger sword at this point if we can. No, it doesn't seem like we can here. What about partisan? Okay, we can make a stronger partisan. And as you can see, we've collected all these different darker cores, and each of them has a way to increase the abilities, or rather, increase the stats of the weapon we're putting together. Okay, so with that done, let's go ahead and equip the new partisan. Okay, and with that, let's switch over and let's start up another mission here. And I should also put on the other Gran art as well. Let's get rid of Rising Edge and we'll put on Overend instead. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna go under stable supply of Gran. Let's gather the team together. Okay, let's get this going. As you can see, we're doing a bit more damage now than we did before here. So you definitely want to keep your weapons current, since that will, of course, reduce how long it takes for you to defeat enemies. Well, look at who it is! We have ourselves a Rappy here. Hey, glad I could help you out with the videos I put up in the past of PSO2 there. That's partly why I do these series. All right, we're in Area 2. And I see something on the mini-map there. And there they are, or at least one of them. This is a Gigantus. This is one of the creatures that shot down the Delta variant. As you can see, it does a ton of damage. So let's pop a Monomate. And I'm gonna switch back over to my sword. Overend! Yeah, even trying to block him doesn't do that much. All we can do here is just survive. good thing is he does have a bunch of attack points, or rather points that we can hit. But ultimately, we're not going to be able to do anything with this guy here right now. Alright, so he is going to be headed off here. Okay, let's get out of this scene here. And basically, at this point, they're discussing ways of how to be able to take those Gigantus out. So at this point, we've basically reached the point where I wanted to kind of get to tonight. Like I said, this is just kind of a first look at the English patch as it is. And once the story is ready, I will then pick this up as a series, and we will take it from there in terms of actually going through the story properly and actually learning what happened to this crew and what's going to eventually become their fate here. But anyway, thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.